Welcome to day 5 on the Spirit Hiking Trail. We are well rested, washed and fed in town. Stayed at the campground on the far side of Grand Marais last night. And for anybody who's wondering who's going to do this trail, it took us 48 minutes to walk from the campground back to the trail. So I'm guessing it's a little bit over 2 miles because it was all flat road and then the real easy, slightly uphill trail getting back. And so we're going to probably try to do around 15 trail miles today, meaning a little over 17 total. And we're in a stretch now where we have 86 miles to go to Finland, and that's where our next resupply is. So our packs are heavy because we're carrying 5 days of food. I've heard the trail is fantastic up ahead, and so I'm really excited about it. I know I've said that before, but it's really cool when you meet people coming the other direction. They keep telling you how great things are. I've been out on trails before where you meet people coming the other direction and they're just filled with doom and gloom, and it's kind of like, oh, great. But this is really exciting when every single person you see tells you how fantastic the trail is coming up. Oh, just climbed up quite a bit out of Grand Marais, and time for a little break. This is my trail coffee. I just take those instant coffee packs, throw it in there with a little creamer and shake it up, and that's my coffee every morning. It's cold, but it's actually pretty good, and that little jolt of caffeine helps power you over these hills in the morning. Just came out to this vista. What a great view of Grand Marais and Lake Superior. And like an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, we were down there, and now we're all the way up here at the top. At least I hope it's the top. And it is not the top. I know elevation doesn't really ever come through on the camera, but this is a pretty good uphill climb. We have to go, you can see maybe Cherry Pit off in the distance there. He's on cobweb duty this morning while I do filming. I just looked at the topographical map, and it looks like we've come up about 800 feet or so since we left the shore and headed out of Grand Marais. That's by far the most we've climbed in like one go. Most of the climbs to this point have been somewhat steep, but they're pretty short. If you're climbing 5-10 minutes, that's it, then you're done. Half the time there's steps. So that got us woken up this morning for sure. It's good to get some work in early. Look at this perfectly good spot for a break after that big climb. And the Cherry Pit just kept going. That's the price I pay for not catching all the cobwebs in the morning. Maybe I'll have to rethink that. There was just a sign that said we're on the North Shore State Trail for the next 2 miles. Take a look at this. It's going to be super flat, super wide. We're going to knock that out in no time, which is good because we were pretty slow going up that hill. I just love flat trail like this so much. It's so nice. Kind of give you a view of what's along the side of this trail. Just pretty thick forest. Here's another huge patch of thimbleberries. Look at this. No berries this time of year, sadly. This is a pretty section with all these wildflowers along the way. Still flat, loving it. The trade-off for the flat is this is really grassy and my feet are just soaked right now. So it's fine. I think once we get out of this, they'll have a chance to dry off. But if they don't, I'm gonna probably have to put some Glide on my toes so I don't get blisters. This is just glorious. Trails, perfectly smooth, covered with pine needles. Could hike on this all day. All right, gonna see if I can do something reasonably funny. It probably won't be, but bear with me. This is my interpretation of Donald Trump reviewing the Spear Hiking Trail. It's an amazing trail, fantastic trail, one of the best trails around. A lot of people are saying this. My hat's off to the great state of Minnesota for putting this trail together. The most well-made trail on the planet by a lot. Okay, so maybe I'll keep my day job, but hopefully I put a smile on somebody's face. Okay, I don't think this one's going to be funny at all, but let's give it a shot. This is Kamala Harris reviewing the Spear Hiking Trail. I love the Superior Hiking Trail because this is a trail where you can not just survive, but you can thrive. Where all of us can hike and all of us can camp, especially the middle class who can live out here like I did as a child in a tent. Alright, probably dumb, but I had to represent both sides. This is Raspberry City here in this section. Again, out of season. Oh well. For those of you who decide to do this trail at some point, I have good news for you. When you are climbing up out of Grand Marais heading south and you're going up that big hill and you're got a bug, and you're going up that big hill and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is so hard, my legs are burning. When you get to the top of that hill, you're going to be cruising on flat trail for miles. We're just flying through here today. This is awesome. I mean, look at this. So there's this tree that we thought was growing right by the trail. However, upon closer inspection, it looks broken off. And when you look up there, there's the other half of it. So this thing came straight down and jammed into the ground right by the trail. It's still standing fully perpendicular to the ground. Just had lunch, found a nice log to sit at. Kind of a weird spot between camping zones. So right now, had to just eat on the trail. It's just before 1 o'clock, and there are a bunch of camping options coming today, so we're not quite sure where we're going to stay at this point. I think we're just going to play it by ear and see what happens. See how we feel. See if we find anything epic. More Pine Needle Trail, my favorite. This causes things to slow down just a little bit. Picking your way through all these roots. So we're staying at this big white pine tonight. And I gotta explain what I did because it's ridiculous. So I kind of had my head down and I missed this sign here for the big white pine. And I was ahead of Cherry Pit a little bit. And I kept going, found a stream, got some water, went down a huge embankment to get to the stream, a huge climb out of there, kept going and going and going. Finally I look at my my Avenza app and I'm way past the camping zone that we agreed to stay at. I'm like, oh crap, I must have missed it. So I turned around and now I walked way past where it was marked on Avenza. Bottom line is Avenza has the camping spot mismarked. It's not even close to where it's supposed to be. It's like 3/10 of a mile off. So now I think I'm past the camping zone, missed it again, and I can't find Cherry Pit. So I'm getting worried. I'm like, what is going on? But in all the reality, I wasn't even back all the way yet. So I start yelling, and we're on opposite ridges, and he can hear me and I can hear him. But in order to get there, I have to walk the other way, and now I'm like totally confused. Well, long story short, I had walked more than a half mile past the campsite and through some really difficult terrain. I'll show you tomorrow because I'm not going down it again tonight. And made it all the way back and found them, and now we're set up. And it was just kind of crazy that it was just like I was in bizarre world. I'm like, there's no campsite. Like, how can I not find this? I've walked past it twice and I don't see anything. But anyways, everybody's safe and we're all set up for the night. But I'll show you camp. So this is camp. Cherry Pit's right there, back over there in that section, and got a nice couple of benches with a fire ring. And I just got done cooking my dinner. Had some mashed potatoes with some barbecue chicken. We ended up doing 15.6 trail miles today, but then we had 2.3 back to the trail, so almost 18 total on the day. And the trail was actually kind of mixed today. There were some pretty steep parts early on, then it was really, really flat for a while, and we made some great time. Then it got a little bit gnarly and rooty and rocky and stuff, so kind of a mix, but overall a pleasant day. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up for the night. Fun day today. Getting turned around was kind of an adventure, but tomorrow looks like we have two choices: a 17-mile day or almost a 22-mile day. So trail looks to be a lot of ups and downs again, so I think we'll probably end up selecting the 17-mile day. We've got 5 days to do 86 miles, so I think we'll be fine. And if we need to do a bigger mileage day later in the week to make up a little bit math, that's fine, but trying to not overdo it early on in the hike. But good night, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.